What's up, guys? Welcome to This Week in the NFL, Week 17. It is the last day of 2019, and it's the last week of the NFL regular season. And it's kind of crazy that we've gotten to this point. I mean, it's officially over. My Steelers are officially done. It's also kind of weird. I mean, the Giants are officially done for you, too.
Yeah, we've been done now.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Last week was officially the end. But with that being said, our final records are now here. We obviously picked all the games at the beginning of the year, and then we've been going through them as the year's gone on.
Mm-hmm.
And I went 155, 101, and you went 150, 105, and 1. So that's good enough for 60.5% and 58.5%. Which, I mean, I feel like those are two pretty good numbers. I mean, if you picked every game randomly, you'd expect to get 50%. So, you know, I know more than randomness, which I guess is
nice.
Yeah, which I guess is good.
Yeah.
But it's a slight improvement over because I picked all the games last year as well. And your number's very close to what mine was. I think mine was 57 or something like that. So next year we'll try to do a little better. And we'll have like a recap where we talk about the playoff teams we got right and all that stuff at the end of the year. But for right now, we're just recapping Week 17, and I went 7-9, and you went 8-8. So you went 2-1 on the games that we had different. You had the Eagles beating the Giants, as well as Jaguars beating the Colts, and then I had the Broncos beating the Raiders. Mm-hmm. So, as I said, we've been kind of neck and neck all year. We only ended up 5 games different, which is kind of crazy because we had some different every week. So it's kind of funny that it ended up kind of almost evening itself out. But, in Week 17, we talked about on the preview show, it's kind of a weird time. Because, you don't know who's playing and stuff, but there's still a lot of good games. Obviously, we had that 49ers-Seahawks game down to the line for the 1 seed. That was a fantastic game. That's big for the 49ers to get the 1 seed. We talked about that on the show, on the recap or the preview show, about how the 49ers kind of needed that to get jump start or to kind of not fall behind. And, playing at home is always nice.
Oh, yeah.
Jameis Winston ended his 30-30 year in dramatic fashion with a walk-off pick 6. Mm-hmm. We'll love to see it. And then the Saints destroyed the Panthers. And then, as I said, it was a pretty weird week. Titans took care of business versus the Texans backups. Cowboys beat the Redskins, but the Eagles won anyway, so they got in. Pretty good week in the league. But moving on to my game that was expected. I mentioned it at the top how they're dead, but the Steelers 10, the Ravens 28. Even if the Steelers would have won this game versus RG3 and the Ravens backups, they wouldn't have made the playoffs because of the Titans winning. But, just a super weird season as a Steelers fan. You don't really know how to feel here, where the team overachieved a lot at the beginning, but then towards the end of the year, they lost some bad games. They lost the last 3 games of the year that they shouldn't have lost. All of them. They should have, at the very minimum, beat the Jets. And just a weird year. You let the Ravens backups beat you. They finished 14-2. Amazing year, obviously. The team still looked good without Lamar and everyone, but once again, Steelers backups. Just kind of a weird game. As I said, Steelers are done now. So hopefully Big Ben's back next year, and we'll see where we go from there. I mean, I don't really, as I said,
it can only go from here.
Yeah, super weird season. The defense looks really good. T.J. Watt was amazing. But, just kind of a crappy way to end the season.
Yeah, hate to see it. Moving on to my game, the win was expected. I had the Chiefs topping the Chargers 31-21. The Chiefs came into this game knowing if they could win this game and the Patriots somehow lost to the Dolphins, they could lock up the 2 seed in the playoffs. Somehow that did happen. The Dolphins upset the Patriots. The Chiefs found out in the middle of their game, and then they were just able to pull away from the Chargers and end up winning by 10. Phillip 2 touchdowns, 2 picks.
Classic.
Honestly, Patrick Mahomes didn't do too much. He had 174 passing yards. Damian Williams, though, their running back, went off 12 carries, 124 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I think he had like an 84-yard touchdown run. That was huge for them. And then they also had Mecole Hardman take a kickoff back 104 yards for a touchdown, which was huge in building up their lead again. But now, like I said, the Chiefs have the number 2 seed locked up. They have a first-round bye put away, and
Yeah. Jeez. All right. But that actually goes right into my game that did not go as expected because mine was going to be the Dolphins 27, Patriots 24. And as you just mentioned, the Patriots came into this game needing to win. Mm-hmm. I mean, they needed to win to get that first-round bye. They have a 40-year-old quarterback. He doesn't want to go on the road, or not on the road. He doesn't want to play the first week and then have to go on the road in the AFC Championship. Mm-hmm. It's definitely like it's not like they weren't trying to win this game. It's not like they only kind of cared about this game. It's they wanted to win this game a lot. Like when Fitzpatrick threw that last touchdown, like Belichick was mad. He was not very happy that he has to prepare for Wild Card Weekend. And honestly, I wouldn't want to prepare for the Titans, who they're going to play anyway.
Yeah.
But I mean, somehow the Dolphins won this game. I guess I jumped the gun about saying that when Fitzpatrick beat the Eagles a couple weeks back, that was our Fitzmagic game of the year. But this was true Fitzmagic. Yeah, this was, just where one of the best defenses in the league that's been, kind of destroying people all year, and he comes out and he upsets them. I mean, I just love to see it. It's hilarious to see the Patriots. They've lost to the Dolphins back-to-back years now, which is hilarious. But, I think that losing that first-round bye really hurts the chances that they get back to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely could. Tennessee's a pretty physical team with Derrick Henry and their defensive front. It'll be pretty interesting to see how they do.
Yeah, and I mean, I picked the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl prior to the year, and I mean, right now, with the playoffs reset, if I had to pick a team, I might choose the Chiefs. I mean, obviously, everyone would say the Ravens, but just for the sake of not saying the Ravens, and for the sake of I'm going to hold to the narrative that Lamar's 0-1 in the playoffs until he wins the playoffs, just for my own sake. Yeah. But so I don't have to deal with it. I'm going to be dealing with him for 10 years. But we'll see about that.
Mm-hmm. Chiefs are hitting their stride at the right time.
Yeah, they are. They really are, and the Patriots are kind of not. I mean, the Patriots.
Yeah,
they obviously
crashing and burning the last couple of weeks.
They beat the Bills, which is obviously a big win. But other than that, the last 5 weeks have the Patriots really looked really good, and I don't think so. And even that Bills game, I mean, they won it kind of sloppy. They were down, So not really sure what to make of the Patriots at this point. But I would not be putting any money on the ones to win the Super Bowl. Without that first round bye. There's some crazy stat that your chances of going to the Super Bowl jump from 16 to 80 when you get a first round bye or something just ridiculous like that. Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Moving on to my game that didn't go as expected. The Bengals beating the Browns 33-29. Obviously, that is surprising enough in itself, considering the Bengals are terrible. This kind of just caps off the dud of a season for the Browns, honestly. They end up going 6-10. Everybody was thinking Super Bowl bound this season.
Wild card.
Obviously
playoffs.
not the case. Tunnel issues. Baker obviously looks like he's in a slump. He threw 3 picks this past Sunday. Freddie Kitchens got fired after the game, which was kind of expected at this point. He kind of looks to be the Achilles heel of that team this season.
Yeah, and if anything, he's going to be the scapegoat.
We
won't know if it was actually all Freddie Kitchens' fault, but it is blamed on him.
yeah, for right now. And then this is probably the last time we're going to see Andy Dalton as a Bengal, maybe. Kind of had an average game, threw for a 190 and a touchdown. He also ran for a touchdown though, which was kind of
good for him.
Yeah, good for him to see. I mean, no playoff implications in this game, but it was just kind of shocking to see the Bengals end this thing on a high note.
Yeah, and as you said, no playoff implications in this game, but this game still felt like it was it felt like the Browns, their season, they still had a chance for some reason, even though they didn't. But then the Bengals were just oh, you guys thought this season was kind of good? It's no. You were 6-10. You get beat by us. It's the Bengals kind of just kicked them when they were down, you know. And I don't know. I mean, I bet against the Bengals both of their wins this year, so that was fun. But I did some psychology here. I bet on the Browns. So when they lost, I could be happy that they lost, but if they won, I got money. So there you go. But they ended up losing. Probably would have rather had the money than them going 6-10. Yeah. But that's whatever because Baker threw 3 picks. He had 20 on the year. I wanted to see him hit 20, just for the comedy of it.
Yeah.
22 touchdowns, 21 interceptions for Baker. I mean, obviously, huge sophomore slump.
Huge.
I mean, Sam Darnold went 7-5 as the starter this year, and you do have to ask, where's Baker fall in those quarterbacks now?
Yeah.
Because Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson are playing in the playoffs. Lamar Jackson has an MVP trophy, and as I said, Sam Darnold was 7-5, and if not for mono, I mean, the Jets were 7-9. They did better than the Browns, and Sam Darnold had mono for 4 games. So, big bounce back year for Baker Mayfield next year. He's kind of back in that underdog role that he's more accustomed to. He's not used to being the star of the show, that's doing all the progressive commercials and all of that. Yeah. He was always the walk on. He was always, that was just his narrative. And now I think he'll be a little bit back to that. But moving on to our betting picks. I finished the year, or betting results, but I finished the year with the 1-1 record to go to 14-17-3. So not ideal. I mean, pretty close to even. Those pushes stopped me from being even, or really negative, but we'll talk about how they could have gone the other way.
Yeah.
And this specific week, the Broncos -3 was just a heartbreaker, where they're covering pretty much the entire game, and then the Raiders score a touchdown with like 20 seconds left. Missed the 2-point conversion, so it's not even like an OT where it can maybe push or I can maybe win still. Nope, the Raiders go for 2. They don't even get it, so I was rooting for the Broncos to lose at that point. It's like, screw you guys. But, the Broncos, as I said, kind of a heartbreaker there. Literally the entire game they were covering. Yeah. And then the other one was the Eagles -4 versus the Giants. They went in, they took care of business. It looked a little shaky at one point. Giants looked pretty good at the beginning, but, Eagles took care of business. Pretty mad my record's under 500. But we'll be back next year, I guess. Yeah. It started out bad, and I was just kind of trying to bring it back for the whole year. So next year, hopefully that won't happen.
Yeah. I actually did a little bit worse. I went 1-1 on the week. I had the Chiefs -9 against the Chargers, which obviously ended up covering on that late touchdown that they had. So that was pretty nice. And then we had the Bills -1. I wasn't really sure how much Josh Allen was going to play. Ended up being 5 snaps or something like that, which is kind of pointless in my opinion.
Weird.
So not really sure what the point of starting him was in this game, but obviously the Jets ended up winning, so I didn't cover.
Yeah. I mean, as we said, Week 17 is some weird times. I had trouble finding which games I liked anyway. The Josh Allen getting in and throwing 5 throws. It's like I don't know how you're supposed to predict that.
Yeah.
But moving on to our For You Losers. This is going to be one of our last ones of the year. Maybe we'll have one more during Wild Card Weekend.
Yeah.
But we had crap ton of bowl games and the college football playoff. But we're mostly going to focus on those college football playoff guys, obviously. And my guy is going to be Joe Burrow. I'm sure no one saw this coming. He went 29 of 39 for nearly 500 yards and 7 touchdowns. And, I mean, he made Oklahoma look like Rice or Florida A&M. He made them look like some group of 5 team that he would play week 3 in Death Valley, you know, and he just torched them. I mean, the receivers obviously for LSU were amazing as well, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, and I feel like Joe Burrow and those two were just playing catch all day. They were just running and he was just kind of dropping back and just slinging it, and they were just running wide open.
Yeah.
I mean, and I even gave up this Oklahoma defense, the credit that they were looking better this year, but it did not happen this. I said on the preview show, I don't think LSU's going to drop 60 on them. They dropped 60 on them. Yeah. So, I mean, as I said, I thought they'd score in the 40s, and I did not think they'd drop 62 points. I think we're all 7 TDs in the first half. At least 6 were. I think 7 of 7, though. And then he didn't even play the end of the game. Yeah. So, if you get pulled, I mean, in the college football playoff, because you're playing too good, you deserve, he deserves his Heisman Trophy, obviously. He's going to show that. Can't wait to see him play in the national championship. And the Bengals are most likely going to take him with the number 1 overall pick.
After that, I probably would.
Yeah, so other teams, don't even bother, wanting him because he's pretty much going to be a Bengal.
Pretty much a done deal, yep. Moving on to my guy. Unfortunately, he wasn't on the winning end of his game, but I decided to go with J.K. Dobbins. I've definitely talked about him before.
Yeah.
He can block. He's a hard runner. He can catch out of the backfield, and he did pretty much all of that this week yet again against definitely one of the best front sevens in the country, if not the best. 18 carries, 174 yards, and 2 touchdowns, and then 6 receptions for 47 yards in their 29-23 loss against Clemson. Obviously, we don't like to see the Buckeyes season end the way it did.
Yeah, it's pretty tough.
But, I mean, we still bought it. It was a hard-fought game. There's some questionable calls that maybe we won't talk about.
I don't think I want to get mad about the fumble right now.
But no, good game by J.K. Just kind of further proving that he's definitely, in my opinion, the best back in college football. He's putting up consistently at least 150 against top 10 defensive lines, there's not really any other argument I can give you to prove my point. But good season. We'll come back next year stronger, and good luck to JK in the draft.
Yeah. JK announced yesterday that he is going to the draft for sure. So, I mean, we assumed that was going to happen, but confirmed. And, that Ohio State-Clemson game was something else. I mean, I was obviously OSU students on the campus. Justin Fields throwing that pick, that one hurt.
That one hurt a lot.
That one hurt. I don't know if we'll ever know if it was Chris Olave or Justin Fields' fault. They're both going to say it was their own fault.
Yeah.
But, tough way to end the year. But Dobbins really did ball out. And also, obviously, not draft eligible, but Trevor Lawrence. I feel like I have to give him a shout out.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was that fast. Those long, he looks like a really fast giraffe.
Yeah,
those 6'6" strides, like the yellow hair, but I couldn't believe he scored on that touchdown run.
That long touchdown run was really.
He balled out.
surprising.
I think next year. I hope next year we get another. I hope we get Fields Lawrence again because that would be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And I've already given my prediction. They're going to go 1-2 next year. And Fields didn't have a great game. He threw 2 picks. He threw 1 the entire year.
Yeah.
But they both showed why they were some of the best players in college football.
Oh yeah, the future is definitely bright for those two.
Facts. Yeah, as I said, rematch next year.
Hopefully,
give it to me.
Yeah.
Yes, please. Ohio State needs to. I don't even want someone else to take out Clemson and then Ohio State. I want to beat Clemson next year or play Clemson. We'll see.
I'm tired of losing.
We'll see about beating them, but Taj Boyd, just let's go. Whatever. All right. But with that, guys, that is gonna be it. Week 17, as I said, college football is pretty much done. We're at the end of the year. We'll be back with our wild card preview on Thursday.
Yeah.
And then be sure to like and subscribe, and we will see you guys next week.
That's it.